mkutano huu adhimu unaotupa fursa kujadili maswali muhimu yanayohusu wa mwaka 2023. Nitumie fursa hii pia kuwashukuru washiriki wote kwa kukubali mwaliko wetu na kutenga muda kuja kushiriki nasi. Natambua mnayo majukumu kwenye nchi mnazotoka, lakini kwa kutambua umuhimu wa mkutano huu mmeamua kujumuika nasi ili kwa pamoja tuweze kuamua mustakabali wetu kuhusu masuala yanayotuhusu sisi wote. Asanteni sana. Kwa baadhi ya wageni wetu, uwepo wenu hapa nchini unaweza kuwa ni fursa ya kipekee ya kufurahia uzuri wa Tanzania, ambayo ni miongoni mwa nchi 10 zenye vivutio vingi zaidi vya utalii duniani. Hivyo mkiweza, tengeni muda kidogo kwa ajili ya kutembelea vivutio vyetu, zikiwemo hifadhi za taifa za Serengeti, Ngorongoro, Manyara, Ruaha na nyingine nyingi. Hali kadhalika, inachukua dakika 20 tu kwa ndege kuruka kwa hewa kufika visiwani Zanzibar, na kama unataka kufurahia mawimbi ya bahari, basi ni dakika 75 kufika Zanzibar kwa speedboat. Mtafurahia fukwe nzuri, utamaduni pamoja na ukarimu wa Waswahili. Karibuni sana sana Tanzania. Mheshimiwa Marais na ndugu washiriki, napenda kutoa shukrani zangu za dhati kwa Secretariat ya Jukwaa la Mapinduzi ya Kijani Afrika AGRF pamoja na washirika wao kwa kuipatia Tanzania fursa kwa mwenyeji Tanzania kupata fursa hii baada ya ushindani mkubwa. Hii ni mara ya pili kwa Tanzania kuwa mwenyeji wa mkutano huu, ambapo mara ya kwanza mkutano huu ulifanyika mwaka 2012 jijini Arusha, takriban miaka 13 iliyopita. Tunaikumbuka vyema kauli mbiu ya mkutano wa 2012 ulikuwa ni kukuza uwekezaji na ubunifu kwa ukuaji endelevu wa kilimo na usalama wa chakula, yani scaling up investment and innovation for sustainable agricultural growth and security. Mkutano wa kwanza ambao ulifanyika 2012, wakati huo kakaangu Mheshimiwa Jakaya Kikwete akiwa ndio anaendesha sukani ya nchi hii, ulifanyika kwa mafanikio makubwa na ulikuwa chachu kwa Tanzania kuamka tena na kuleta mageuzi katika sekta ya kilimo, tukisaidiwa na nchi mbalimbali na washirika wa maendeleo AGRA akiwa mmoja wapo. Kwa miongo mingi sasa, AGRA imekuwa mstari wa mbele katika kuisaidia Tanzania kutekeleza miradi mbalimbali ikiwemo afya ya udongo SHP, mifumo ya mbegu Afrika PAS na mradi wa mbegu na teknolojia Afrika SSTP. Kupitia misaada mbalimbali kutoka kwa washirika wa AGRA, jumla ya dola za Kimarekani milioni 60 ziliwekezwa katika programu hizi katika awamu ya kwanza 2006 hadi 2016. Na katika awamu ya hivi karibuni 2017 hadi 2021, AGRA wamewekeza zaidi ya dola za Kimarekani milioni 20 kama mpango jumuishi wa kusaidia utekelezaji wa awamu ya pili ya programu ya maendeleo ya sekta ya kilimo SDP2. Mpango huu unajumuisha shughuli za kujenga uwezo kwenye uratibu, sera na kwa ajili ya utekelezaji wa SB chini ya Wizara ya Kilimo na wizara nyingine zinazohusika vile vile sekta hiyo. AGRA imekuwa ikitoa misaada ya kiufundi na kifedha. AGRA imekuwa ikitoa misaada ya kiufundi na kuanzisha programu ya viwanda katika kubuni na kuanzisha programu ya viwanda vya kilimo Tanzania. Ilipitishwa na kuzinduliwa rasmi Septemba mwaka 2020. Imewasaidia wakulima Mwasaidia wakulima kanda maalum za uchumi katika wa kilimo, kanda maalum za uchumi zones wa kilimo, ambazo ni kaskazini zones, kusini, ambazo ni kaskazini kusini hadi 2030 hadi 2030. Imejipanga kusaidia katika kilimo himilivu, yani resilient agriculture, kupunguza umaskini kwa wakulima wadogo, kuboresha lishe, kukabiliana na athari za mabadiliko ya tabia nchi kwa maana ya climate change adaptation, na kuwezesha wanawake katika ujasiriamali. Na leo hii kwa kuangalia programu ya mkutano huu na yote ambayo yamekuwa yakiendelea hapa tangu siku ya kwanza ya jukwaa hili, ambapo shughuli zenu zimegawanywa kwa kuzingatia kauli mbiu ya mkutano huu ambayo inasadi vyema na maudhui ya mkutano huu, yani recover, regenerate and act. Napenda kusema asante sana AGRA. Ni imani yangu kwamba mkutano huu unahusu mifumo ya chakula wenu. Tumejidhatiti na tutajitahidi kuhakikisha malengo ya mkutano huu yanafanikiwa. Waheshimiwa viongozi na ndugu washiriki, mashaka yanayoikabili Afrika katika usalama wa chakula yameelezwa kwa uzito wake na wengi waliopata fursa kuzungumza katika mkutano huu ulioanza juzi tarehe 5 mwezi wa 9. Tangu juzi wataalamu na mawaziri wamekuwa na mijadala hiyo, na asubuhi ya leo kulikuwa na mkutano wa vijana wa Afrika ambao ndio wanaolengwa katika mageuzi ya kilimo. Walipata fursa ya kueleza changamoto wanazokabiliana nazo katika safari ya kujiendeleza kupitia kilimo. Vijana walibainisha ukosefu wa taarifa sahihi, ukosefu wa ardhi, mahitaji kwa ajili ya uwekezaji, kuibuka kwa maradhi duniani na athari za mabadiliko ya hali ya hewa ama mabadiliko ya tabia nchi kuwa ni vikwazo vikubwa vinavyosababisha serikali viongozi wa Afrika kutumia wakati huu wa changamoto nyingi duniani kuwa ni fursa kwa kufanya mageuzi ya sera na mifumo ya kilimo katika nchi zao, na kwamba vijana wawezeshwe kuzalisha kuendana na mahitaji ya dunia. Kutokana na tajiri lilipaswa litoe suluhisho kwa changamoto za mifumo ya chakula duniani. Tumebarikiwa kuwa asilimia 65 ya ardhi inayofaa kwa kilimo duniani. Tumebarikiwa na utajiri wa asilimia 60 na maziwa makubwa na vile vile tumejaliwa madini yanayoweza kutupa fedha za kutosha kuwekeza kwenye kilimo endelevu. Pamoja na yote hayo tumebaki kuwa walalamikaji, badala ya kutafuta suluhisho kuelekea mapinduzi ya uchumi wa kijani. Inakadiriwa kwamba zaidi ya Waafrika milioni 283 wanalala na njaa, wengine wanapata utapiamlo, na magonjwa yanayohusiana na lishe. Kibaya zaidi, wapo wanaokufa kwa kukosa chakula. Hii ni aibu, na hali hii haikubaliki hata kidogo. Tupo hapa pamoja na washirika wa maendeleo binafsi, wasomi na wataalamu kutoka Afrika kujadili kadhia hiyo, kubadilishana uzoefu kuhusu namna ya kuendeleza minyororo ya thamani ya bidhaa za kilimo, na kujadili mipango ya kuimarisha usalama na ustawi wa chakula na ustawi wa kiuchumi barani Afrika. Ili kuyafikia malengo hayo, sisi kama viongozi wa Afrika hatuna budi kufanya tathmini ya vipaumbele vyetu na kuvinasibisha na mahitaji ya sasa katika muktadha mpana wa kidunia, ili tuweze kuyafikia mageuzi tunayoyataka katika mifumo ya chakula na kuifanya sekta ya kilimo kutufikisha katika Afrika tunayoitaka. Ninatambua tumejiwekea ahadi kadhaa ikiwemo kuongeza bajeti katika kilimo, kuimarisha ukuaji jumuishi wa sekta ya kilimo na kuhamasisha ushiriki wa sekta binafsi. Tulitoa ahadi hizi ili kutekeleza ajenda ya Umoja wa Afrika ya Comprehensive Agriculture Development Program ya mwaka 2003. Litimio la Malabo la mwaka 2014 na mikakati kadhaa ikiwemo moja, kuendelea kutekeleza programu madhubuti ya maendeleo ya kilimo, yani Comprehensive Agricultural Development Program tangu ilipoanzishwa mwaka 2003, pamoja na azimio la Malabo la mwaka 2014 kuhusu kuongeza kasi ya ukuaji wa sekta ya kilimo, yani the 2024 Malabo Declaration on Accelerated Agricultural Growth. Miongozo na maazimio hayo yanaelekeza nchi za Afrika kutenga angalau asilimia 10 ya bajeti kwa ajili ya kilimo, kukuza sekta angalau kwa asilimia 6 kwa mwaka, na kutoa fursa za ajira kwa vijana angalau asilimia 30 katika minyororo ya thamani katika kilimo, na kuongeza biashara ya bidhaa na huduma za kilimo ndani ya bara la Afrika. Pili, tunalotekeleza ni kwa bajeti ya kilimo mara 4 zaidi yalivyokuwa mwaka 2021 ikilinganishwa. Tumeongeza bajeti kutoka dola za Marekani 125 milioni 21 mpaka tunavyoendelea hivi. Vile serikali imeanza kutekeleza ajenda ya 1030 au ajenda 1030 inayolenga kuongeza ukuaji wa sekta ya kilimo hadi asilimia 10 ifikapo mwaka 2030, ambacho ni kiwango kikubwa ikilinganishwa na asilimia karibu 4 ya sasa hivi. Tanzania imejidhatiti kuingia kwenye masoko ya chakula ya kikanda na kimataifa ili kukidhi mahitaji ya chakula katika nchi mbalimbali. Tunaamini Tanzania inayo fursa ya kuwa mzalishaji na msafirishaji mkubwa wa mazao kama mahindi, mchele, mboga na mafuta ya kula katika Jumuiya ya Afrika Mashariki, Jumuiya ya Maendeleo Kusini mwa Afrika na nchi nyingine za Afrika na dunia kwa ujumla. Sasa ili kuchochea kilimo biashara, nchi yetu inatekeleza miradi ya kurahisisha usafiri na usafirishaji wa bidhaa kupitia nchi kavu, yani roads and railways, kupitia bahari na angani. Vile tuna miradi mikubwa ya kuzalisha nishati na kujenga mifumo ya mawasiliano ya haraka baharini, Tanzania Broadband System na Two Africa System au project, ili kuwezesha kupatikana kwa maendeleo yanayotarajiwa. Jitihada hizi zote zinalenga kuharakisha na kurahisisha biashara kati ya Tanzania na nchi nyingine za Afrika, hususan kupitia ukanda huru wa biashara barani Afrika FCFTA, ambapo tayari tumeanza utekelezaji kwa baadhi ya bidhaa na nchi 7 za Cameroon, Misri, Ghana, Kenya, Mauritius, Rwanda na Tunisia. Tanzania vile ili kurahisisha upatikanaji wa fedha kwa ajili ya kilimo, Benki Kuu ya Tanzania kufikia 9%. Tunaendelea na jitihada za kuwavutia wanawake na vijana kwenye kilimo, ufugaji na uvuvi, na jitihada hizi zinaratibiwa chini ya programu ya Jenga Kesho Iliyo Bora au Building a Better Tomorrow, ambayo imezinduliwa na inatekelezwa maeneo mbalimbali nchini. Jitihada nyingine ni pamoja na utekelezaji wa programu ya viwanda katika kilimo, yani Tanzania Agro Industrialization Program, ambayo imejikita katika kuongeza thamani ya mazao ya kilimo, kuimarisha miundombinu ya umwagiliaji, utafiti na uzalishaji wa mbegu bora na kuimarisha mifumo ya masoko. Mheshimiwa viongozi, ndugu washiriki, nimetoa mfano wa Tanzania, lakini na hakika jitihada mbalimbali zinafanyika kote barani Afrika. Jana tulikuwa Kenya, tumesikia Kenya wanachofanya na hatua iliyofikia. Hivyo ni rai yangu kwa washiriki wa maendeleo au washirika wa maendeleo, washirika wa AGRF na sekta binafsi kuziunga mkono serikali za Afrika katika jitihada za kuendeleza sekta ya kilimo. Hatua hizi ni muhimu sana katika kuimarisha mifumo ya chakula na kuhakikisha uendelevu wake. Na katika muktadha huo huo, natoa wito kwa Afrika kuonyesha mshikamano na nchi ambazo mbalimbali ambazo nimezitaja hapo mwanzo katika hotuba hii. Mheshimiwa viongozi na ndugu washiriki, Tanzania ipo tayari kushirikiana na wadau mbalimbali pamoja na washirika wa maendeleo katika kutumia fursa za uwekezaji zinazolenga kuleta mageuzi katika mifumo ya chakula nchini. Ni matumaini yangu kwamba mkutano huu utakuja na mapendekezo yatakayowezesha bara letu kuhakikisha uendelevu wa kilimo na mifumo ya chakula, kubuni mikakati kuhusu na lishe miongoni mwa nchi za Afrika, kufungua fursa za kilimo biashara na fedha kwa ajili ya kusaidia mifumo ya chakula kwenye ngazi za kitaifa na mbinu za kisasa ili kujenga mifumo endelevu ya chakula, hasa katika uzalishaji, kuimarisha biashara kikanda ili kuongeza usalama na uhimilivu wa chakula za nchi za kutoka kwenye mkutano huu ikiwa na malengo pamoja na mikakati ya kuyafikia malengo tuliyojiwekea. Waheshimiwa viongozi, ndugu washiriki, mabibi na mabwana, sasa nihitimishe na niwatakie kila la heri katika maazimio yenu. Asanteni sana kwa kunisikiliza. Karibuni Tanzania. Waheshimiwa viongozi na ndugu washiriki, katika utambulisho nilimwacha waziri mstaafu wa Benin, Mheshimiwa Zinso. Yuko pamoja nasi hapa. Asante sana.
Let's give a big round of applause to Our Excellency President wa Kenya. Kiswahili amesema sana, lazima nimtetee rais wangu Ruto, kwa sababu najua sisi wa Kenya na wa Tanzania sisi ni mandugu wa karibu. Wa Kenya tunazungumzia wa Tanzania kwa Kiswahili kibaya, wa Tanzania wanatujibu kwa Kizungu kibaya, tunaendelea, tunasonga mbele kama Injili. Ama namna gani? What I said is that Tanzanians and Kenyans were close friends. That's all, nothing more. Well, there are a few other things there, but this is a family matter. We're going to leave it there in the level of Swahili. We won't get into it. Najua our foreign ministers, January Makamba and Alpha Mutua, understand. So we will leave it there. They can discuss later among themselves. But I really appreciate that. We apologize that the translation did not work for parts of Her Excellency's speech. It was really inspiring, talking about what Tanzania is doing to transform the food systems here, and she talked about the commitments, international commitments, like the Malabo Declaration, and other initiatives that the country is doing here. President Samia Suluhu Hassan said, we should not be complaining as Africans. We have vast water and mineral resources here. 60% of our population are the youth. We have everything we need here to transform our food systems. Do you agree? I didn't hear the right applause for that. I think. And one of the things that Her Excellency talked about, like in the last 2 financial years, her government has quadrupled their agricultural budgetary vote. So from what it was 2 years ago, it was about $100 million. In the last financial year, it was $400 million, quadruple the budget going to agriculture in Tanzania. And she also acknowledged the contribution of the youth who were meeting here this morning and what they want to transform the food systems in the continent. And she said that Tanzania is ready to work with stakeholders and other investors to transform the food systems here in the country. Nimekosa ama nimepata, Rais? Asante sana. As Africans, we love music. We are a musical people, and it is now my pleasure to introduce Angel to entertain us. Angel, tafadhali. Ndio yule pale. Tafadhali mkaribishe. Please give a big round of applause to Angel. sana, Angel. Thank you so much. I never thought a song about agriculture could bring the house down like that. Did you ever imagine? Angel? Thank you so much. I never thought a song about agriculture could bring the house down like that. Did you ever imagine? The most fun song I have ever heard about agriculture. And the youth say they are ready. Congratulations, Angel. The most fun song I have ever heard about agriculture. And the youth say they are ready. It is now my pleasure to invite to make her framing remarks on setting the vision for the continent. The CEO of the African Development Agency, on please welcome to the stage for the continent. The CEO of the African Development Agency, Audaneped, please welcome to the stage Ms. Nardos Bekele Thomas.
Good afternoon, everybody. I think I was caught by surprise. Your Excellency, good afternoon, everybody. President Samia Suluhu Hassan, the United Republic of Tanzania. Your Excellency, President of the Republic of Senegal Hassan, Your Excellency, the United Republic of Tanzania. Dr. William Samuel Ruto, President of the Republic of Senegal, of Kenya. Your Excellency, Dr. William Samuel Ruto, President of the Republic of Kenya. Your Excellency, General Winnie, President of Zanzibar, Winnie, President of Zanzibar, my brother Haile Mariam Desalegn, my brother Haile Mariam Desalegn of Ethiopia, and chair of AJRF, partners of AJRF, partners my dear brother also, the former president also, the former president of Tanzania, the Republic of Tanzania, my dear brother, my dear brother, Mr. Kikwete, the honorable ministers present today, honorable ministers present today. My dear sister, who's brought us together, who's Agra, president of Agra, my predecessor, and my dear brother,
Ngorongoro Conservation Area is the only destination with 3 UNESCO recognition, and these are 1. Mixed World Heritage Site, 2. Man and Biosphere Reserve, and 3. Global Geopark. It is the 7 natural wonders of Africa. Ngorongoro crater is referred as the Garden of Eden due to its dazzling beauty and being a paradise for over 30,000 animals. Ngorongoro crater is the 8th wonder of the world. Ngorongoro crater is one of the best places in Africa to see the Big Five within a short period of a time during the game drive.
Recognize everybody and you and all your honored to address your excellencies on food security, issues that are foremost on our development agenda as continent. Before I delve into the substantive issues, allow me to congratulate His Excellency President Samia Suluhu for hosting us today. To what seems to be a very successful. Congratulations, my dear sister. As always, the hospitality of the United Republic of Tanzania is a source of pride and joy for all Africans. I would also like to congratulate His Excellency President William Ruto, who earlier this week hosted a highly first ever African Climate Summit in Nairobi. The Nairobi Declaration on Climate Change agreed by heads of state and the summit offers offers a continental vision for tackling climate change while also pursuing our development goals. I would also like to congratulate His Excellency, the President of Senegal, His Excellency Macky Sall, for the food summit that was held in Dakar. Excellencies, distinguished guests, I should say that more than ever is a resounding message from every corner of Africa, and it is crystal clear. From our leaders, government officials, to our esteemed development partners, from the dynamic private sector to the tireless champions of civil society, and above all, our women, the youth of our future, our voices unite as one. Africa is a nation rising against all odds. We are rewriting our narrative, one that has too often been overshadowed by the paradox of plenty, where abundance coexisted with deprivation. We stand united, acknowledging that this narrative is changing. Africa is awakening to the realization that we possess not only the resources, but the resilience, the innovation, and indomitable will to overcome our challenges. We are and remain the architects of our destiny. Building, ladies and gentlemen, resilient and inclusive food system for our continent is the most pressing challenge of our generation. As we speak, more than 250 million Africans, with the world still emerging from the devastation of the COVID pandemic and the ongoing Russia war. Hunger and malnutrition on our continent is set to worsen in the coming years. A worsening climate, alarming rates of land degradation, and persistent marginalization of a large majority of smallholder farmers, women and youth, are a dangerous cocktail of mutually reinforcing crises are converging into a perfect storm that would further threaten our food security and livelihood. Excellencies, I concur with the conveners on the need for a quantum. We are to overcome the challenge food insecurity on the continent. The current food crisis is a wake-up call for the continent to take immediate actions to radically transform our food system. It is a reminder of the urgency to accelerate the implementation of the comprehensive agricultural development program, the continental framework for agricultural transformation and agriculture-led growth strategy, which is, by the way, translated already into regional investment plans, and this has percolated to national investment plans. All this is to achieve ambitious targets and nutrition as outlined in the Malabo commitment. On the 31st of October this year, the African Day.
The statue of a black rhinoceros, believed to be the oldest rhino in the world, has been completed. This rhino, which was popularly known as Faru Fawastav, died on December 27, 2019 at the age of 57 and is living in the Ngorongoro crater. The Ngorongoro Conservation Area Authority has complied with the government instructions to preserve the important history of this rhino by making the statue. The lifelike effect was prepared, stuffed and mounted by specialists from a Arusha-based company called Lorenzo Academy Taxidermy. This statue can now be seen inside the Aldapai Museum in Ngorongoro Conservation Area. Tanzania Unforgettable.
the current levels. Equally critical is our efforts to reverse high rate of land degradation, which threatens the sustainability of our food systems. It takes hundreds of years for topsoil to form. We lose 24 billion tons of this fertile each year due to unsustainable land and soil management practices. Today, more than 75% of the continent's cultivated area is degraded. Restoring the health of degraded lands is critical for overall human development, as land is a vital life support livelihoods and ecosystems. Healthy soils provide the foundation to raise the agricultural productivity, increase on-farm biodiversity, and reduce the pressure to expand agriculture into natural ecosystems. There is well-established evidence showing that increased soil health improves nutrient and use efficiency, leading to profitable farming and resilient production systems. The African Fertilizer and Soil Health Summit planned to 6 November 2023 is a result of growing appreciation by African heads of state that our soils are the bedrock of our food system. Building a resilient and inclusive food system on our ability to reverse the high rates of land degradation and restoring the health of our soils. We expect far-reaching decisions at the summit to outline a roadmap for restoring the health of our soils. Excellencies, we are working with member states and other partners to adequately support farmers, especially the millions of smallholders who are the backbone of our food production on the continent. These farmers need sustained transition to modern and more resilient production systems, and to connect with markets to boost incomes. Equally critical is inclusive development to open up opportunities for women, including for processing and value addition. Innovative financing to cater for the unique circumstances of smallholders and agribusiness innovators, including ensuring access to affordable is a critical condition, and we all know it. Excellencies, allow me to conclude by emphasizing that we are redoubling our efforts to drive practice change, to transition our food towards climate-regenerative practices that balance the need for healthy soils, healthy diets, healthy people, and healthy planet. Our Dane part remains unwavering in our commitment to achieve continental goals and nutrition security. Working with our partners, we are strengthening our programming with a view to making them more impactful, scalable, and sustainable. We are constantly reviewing our delivery model and theory of change to better define between our interventions and intended outcomes. These improvements are also being cascaded to our member states through technical and advisory support for improved program design, development of business and resource mobilization to support implementation. I would like to thank AGRA for their collaboration in really translating these implement plans into action at all regional and also national levels. Finally, I would like to reiterate something. And because our heads of governments are here, I would like to appeal that yes, we have recognized the fact that the development of food and agricultural transformation is really fundamental for economic, social, and political transformation. It's also a day where we have recognized that we have unfulfilled promises and that there are deficiencies. And here we are committing ourselves to really make sure that we redouble our and our soil, and it's very critical and very important that in order to do that, excellencies, is very important. It's very important that we tackle the issue of coordination. There is so much wastage, and there is so much leakage, and yet the resources are finite. And we're running out of time. Need to coordinate. Need to have a system for upscaling and scaling of our interventions. It's very important that we approach the whole integrated strategic management approach to food systems. Because we're talking about systems. It's not the agriculture ministry that's responding to challenges. Education, health, agriculture, food systems is about education. It's about health. It's about infrastructure. It's about IT. So all this need to be handled in a strategic management. Those countries like Ethiopia, Tanzania, and others, to food system and agricultural transformation have succeeded. Let's learn lessons from this. And finally, also, inclusivity is critical and very important. We need the investment in human capital, critical for progress. We need to make sure, like Tanzania has done, and we have been supporting our NEPAD, many countries, in training and bringing skills to youth so that they can own land. Even if they don't own land, we can lease land for them and use it for agricultural production. And therefore, integration of youth is critical and very important. Integration of women and promoting women in agriculture is critical and very important. And acting, we have to implement, we have to act, leveraging on digital solutions. We have got technology on our side. Let's take advantage of it, let's act, let's implement at scale. Finally, I say regional collaboration for food security is becoming important, is the linchpin of success. Our data underlines the potential of regional trade agreements in bolstering food security, implementing the African continental free trade area fully could potentially increase intra-African trade in agricultural products by up to 70%. Let's act collaboratively for a food secure Africa. Finally, to our development partners, please help us and be with us at all times. It's not a promise, unfulfilled promises, like I said earlier on, has consequences. Please, when we promise, when we pledge, it has to be serious and you have to accompany us. No one is perfect. If there are areas for improvement, we can improve them together. But partnership should be with, full trust, and we need really predictability. And therefore, I think with those, I would say thank you very much for having me here and for this intervention. Thank you very much, Excellencies.
Another round of applause for her, please. Thank you. She said we cannot wallow in crisis, and she talked about some of the crisis we're facing. It's now my pleasure to introduce the first of two panels we'll have. This afternoon, I have three speakers coming up here to chat real quick. Ms. Melinda Bohannan is the Director General of the Humanitarian and Development at the Foreign Commonwealth and Development Office of the UK. Please join me on stage, Melinda. Also, please give a big round of applause. She came a long way to talk to us. Also joining her on stage is Mr. Roger Voorhuis. He's the President, Global Growth and Opportunity Division at the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation and a member of the AGRA Board. And last but not least, Mr. Svein Tor Holseta, President and CEO of Yara International.
The Ngorongoro shifting sands is a unique natural phenomenon within Ngorongoro Conservation Area in Tanzania.
Coming up. It's going to be short and sweet, I promise. Very important. So
it is a large crescent-shaped dune of volcanic ash that is constantly moving and changing its shape.
Regenerate and act. And I think Ms. Bekele Thomas talked about one of those issues we keep talking about.
The shifting sands are believed to be the result of the fine ash and sand that is blown off the nearby active volcano, Aldanyo Lengai.
Ukraine, so I'm sure they will be talking about that, as well as
the sand is very fine and light, making it easily carried by the wind.
Farming practices on the continent.
As the wind blows, the sand shifts and moves, creating ripples and patterns on the surface.
Actionable strategies, mobilizing investments, and required policy and financial reforms.
The dune is about 9 meters high and 100 meters long, and it moves at a rate of about 17 meters per year. Scientists began recording and coding each year from 1969 to the present, and the marks can be seen even today. The shifting sands is a popular attraction for visitors to witness the unique natural phenomenon. Do not try to miss the shifting sand tour when you are in Ngorongoro Conservation Area Authority.
Government and the United Kingdom's partnership with Tanzania. I want to start by recognizing the commitment that we have all heard, that I've heard across this conference, but particularly in this session, and the positivity of the debate. And I will start by saying it is a joy just to listen. I want to start though with a focus on recovery and why it matters. Africa's food system transformation has been battling continuous challenge over recent years. As we all know, in the last 3 years alone, the desert locust infestation between 2019 and 22 affecting 23 countries with 20 in Africa, COVID-19 and its economic scarring, the global impact of Russia's invasion of Ukraine on food systems, and those are all in addition to existing conflict, climate change and humanitarian issues that some countries continue to endure. This has had a deep impact across global food.
I apologize, Melinda. Do you mind a little closer so we can hear you?
Sorry, absolutely.
Thank you.
Hope this works. The deep impact across global food, fertilizer and fuel prices, and the fragility of the system. I'm afraid in this crisis-prone world, those sort of shocks are going to continue, and at the same time, demands continue to rise with demographic growth. So this makes recovery and greater resilience absolutely essential, because to use a phrase from our previous speaker, crisis cannot define us. And we all agree that the how involves an interconnected strategy. Food systems are complex. They're very heterogeneous across different countries and crops and value chains. As we know from a recent study by the Rockefeller Foundation from April this year, creating more sustainable food systems, it called for a deeper understanding of these interconnected contexts to crack the silos and join the dots. And joining the dots requires us to think as much outside the sector as within. It means thinking about the macroeconomic, the debt issues, and how they've impacted prices, all the way through to the investment in regional crops, fertilizer value chains, the investment in enabling infrastructure and human capital. All of those need to work together in order to get the private sector investment mobilized and at scale. I want to focus on ACT and what it means to act, and I will start simply by saying food systems, not food projects. 4 things that I would like to share that we should be doing more of in order to scale up. Those are regional integration, greater coherence, as outlined powerfully by Madam President, unity of purpose, research and deployment and data infrastructure. Firstly, regional integration. This really does support the scaling up of a particular crop along a regional transport corridor, rural roads, storage, processing, aggregation, and so forth, will improve connectivity between smallholder farmers and markets, between surplus and deficit food production areas, and intra-regional and continental trade in raw and processed agriculture staples, fruits and vegetables. The UK is supporting the ECOWAS Rice Observatory with the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, the African Development Bank, the World Bank, JICA, GIZ and the Islamic Development Bank to reduce the import dependency of rice into West Africa, which cost the continent 4 billion per annum and create a regionally competitive price chain. Secondly, driving coherence amongst partners and stakeholders. And I want the United Kingdom to be known as a committed partner to coherence and helping to lead the way. We know there are multiple donor and philanthropic programs across the food system sector. These all need greater coherence to maximize their impact, to minimize the divergence from the African context, including the Malabo Declaration and the post-Malabo process, which we've heard so much about. Practically, this can build on existing models. The United Kingdom support to COMESA to establish the digital regional food balance sheet with partners including USAID, Rockefeller, again the Gates Foundation and AGRA, and 6 African member states. Through this, we're supporting the Malabo Declaration's aim to triple inter and African trade by 2025. Thirdly, collectively working to accelerate the adoption of research and development solutions aligned to prioritized food value chains in Africa, seeds, soil, climate adaptation. We know, for example, if we are developing a structured rice market in a priority West African country, then identifying what R&D investments can be prioritized in a way that meets the medium and long-term needs of a particular crop value chain is essential. Being targeted and focused to align those efforts will minimize the mismatch between great R&D outputs and the adoption by agribusinesses and farmers. Finally, supporting continued development of data infrastructure and use to improve policy predictability as well as responsiveness and the agility of the food system to increasing frequency of crises. African agriculture systems must anticipate and be more responsive to change and make use of timely data to drive effective decisions. Again, we know this is most helpful if adopted regionally. The United Kingdom has worked with partners on mutual recognition arrangements, MRAs, and COMESA Digital Regional Food Balance Sheet. These MRAs will ensure harmonization of cross-border trade policies. So in conclusion, a quantum leap for Africa's food security will require all of us to act together, governments, partners, youth, business, women. We know action for transformation requires us to act regionally, work in partnership, and anticipate those future trends to ensure resilience and agility and responsiveness and growth. I'm really proud to say that the United Kingdom is a passionate supporter of Africa's food transformation agenda, and we look forward to seeing what happens next after this conference.
All right, thanks a lot. Roger.
Your Excellency, Madam President, thank you for inviting us here today. I just want to actually start by saying what an exceptionally inspiring week it has been in Africa. I started the week in Kenya for the Climate Summit, and President Ruto, thank you for your leadership there. You have made an incredible statement of Africa's commitment in leadership and climate. And then, Madam President of Tanzania, the focus today has been one of the most successful AGRFs I have ever seen as a board member of AGRA. So thank you for inviting me here today. I have to tell you, I'm a little intimidated with all these heads of state to sit here as a non-African and talk about the quantum leap in African food productivity.
You're doing a good job so far.
I'll try my best. I raised my family just next door in Malawi, so I know a little bit about African agriculture, and I know a little bit of the lessons I've learned and the mistakes I've made. What I will tell you is a couple things. We've entered this season around 3 C's, we call them in the Gates Foundation, around COVID, around conflict, and around climate. And today, as the Minister of Agriculture in Tanzania talked about, we had a roundtable with African ministers. And what we heard were African solutions and African ideas for building resilience and for recovery. And I got to tell you, I was both inspired and challenged, because the future ahead requires not just recovery, but it's going to require a quantum leap in growth. And that growth is going to have to come from a known formula, but applied to a new situation in the face of the headwinds of climate change. So we've got to build a sustainable food system in Africa, and we've got to do that through smallholder farmers. In my lifetime, there have been the greatest number of people that have ever in the history of the world come out of poverty. First in China, second in South Asia. And I stand and sit here today with a commitment from the Gates Foundation that we would love to see the third wave of poverty reduction in the world come out of sub-Saharan and come out of African continent as a whole. And the possibility of doing that is what we've all learned is out of smallholder farmer productivity, increased investment in innovation, and a focus on women and girls at the center of development. Now, what I'll say is that there are 3 areas that we're going to try and emphasize as the Gates Foundation. One is to build a safer, more sustainable, more equitable food system that everyone needs to be at the table. It's going to have to be broad-based, where governments and sovereign states make commitments to agriculture. It's going to have to include the private sector, and it's going to have to improve the civil society where possible to hold us forward in what needs to be done that makes an impact on the lives of low-income people. Second, women are the backbone. New RCT that is coming out of West Africa actually shows that if you have a gender intentional focus on agriculture, you can actually increase productivity 20%. Right now, women, on average, for the same amount of productive work in agriculture, earn 18% less. Where, if we're all looking for jobs, we're looking for GDP, just increasing gender intentional agriculture gives you a boost of almost 18 to 19%. And that's a first place we're going to have to begin. And the third area for the Gates Foundation to make a quantum leap is around innovation. Everyone knows that our chairman, Bill Gates, founded Microsoft on the idea of innovation. We focus on that, and we focus it in agriculture in 4 areas: in animal genetics and animal health, in crop genetics, and in building new seed systems that actually can deliver for crops that are often neglected around the world, but are extremely important in Africa. And thirdly, to understand how new pests and diseases, both for crops and animals, need to be diagnosed early, need to be treated, and need to build in that technology into the seeds. I just want to congratulate Macky Sall, President Sall will be hosting the Grand Challenges next month in Senegal, where we're going to actually see the front lines of that innovation and that cutting edge thinking come to pass. But we're going to need to push that into the CGIAR, which delivers 10 values of economic value for every dollar that's input. And you, as officials here today on the front lines of this journey, need to invest in national agriculture and research centers that are going to translate that into crops in the ground and to extension services that are appropriate, sustainable, and within planetary